is Saturday and it's just a few minutes to 9 a.m. I had to wake up very early today because we are on our way to Drumheller. Drumheller is a city in Alberta, and it is a place where lots of dinosaur fossils have been found over time, and there's evidence to show that there was a time many years ago where dinosaurs walked the face of the earth, and if they walked, like if they weren't found any other place, they were actually in Drumheller. I've had so many opportunities to go to Drumheller over, like, since I came to Canada, but for some reason, like, I never get to follow through to get to Drumheller. I don't know why, but anyway, today is an opportunity for me to go there, and I am on my way, and I'm going to show you how the trip goes. Let's go. Prior to this time, I'd never traveled, like done a road trip in Canada before. So it was fascinating to be on this road trip and see how much landmass Canada has. Like, it's huge expanse of land unoccupied, and this is just one province we're talking about. Anyway, the topography you're seeing right now is called Badlands. I don't know why they name it Badlands, but it had a unique setting. Like the arrangement of the mountains and the rocks was totally different from the other aspects that we had traveled through. At this point, we were already heading towards Drumheller town before heading towards the museum, and I was just taking pictures of the scenic views. It's actually very beautiful, and I don't even know if my video is doing justice. Okay, so this is downtown Drumheller here, just a small city with houses, schools, and all the basic amenities. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm happy it was sunny on this day, so we're able to get here with ease. Anyway, backtrack to what I was saying earlier about the huge landmass. It's incredible the amount of space and how long we had to travel within the same province just to get to this place. I live in Calgary, so this from Calgary to Drumheller was about an hour 45 minutes thereabout. And over here we're gradually approaching the museum. All over the city there's sculptures of dinosaurs scattered all around, just to show you that yes, you're here in the city where dinosaur fossils are found. And I was already getting excited because I was seeing all of this what's the name of this thing now, moldings, or this yikes, can't remember the name, but I was seeing dinosaur moldings everywhere in the city by this time, and then we're heading to the museum, so keep watching.
See Bunny.
Those things are huge. They're big. So now we are at the museum. We finally got here, and this is the entrance to the museum, and I was trying to zoom in on the prices. So you can see an adult is $21, seniors $14, and youths $10. Like, if you just pause in that aspect, you're going to see it. But they also have packages for families and rentals. We were starving at this point, so I had to quickly grab a bite. The good thing is you could get burgers, you could get pizza, you could get just bites that you could get to quell your hunger, and then head on to see the museum. Now, entering this museum, you're going to meet these sculptures. Yes, sculptures is the word I was trying to remember earlier. So you're going to meet the sculptures. One thing that amazed me in all of this is how huge these animals were. They are so big. Like, I've always heard stories of how when you stand beside them, you look like that's why I could trample on you with ease. I don't want to describe it in any derogatory way, but then they are huge. The sculptures were really, really big. And then I was trying to read the stories behind each of these sculptures. That's why I was zooming in here. And then they did well to explain at each point you get to inside the museum. So inside of this place has fossils. It also has the real dinosaur, either bones or it was divided into two. So you get to see the real dinosaur bones, some skeletal structure of what was left from excavation sites that they found over the years. At the same time, you would see cast. So most of the dinosaurs, the stories behind it, I may not have the stories in detail in my head, but what happened was some of them died in water bodies and got stuck and formed a cast, like their shape was left in the sands of time, and that was taken and casted, and then you're going to see the different ones. So what made it easy was for each of the skeletal structures or whatever you were seeing per time, they made reference to whether it was a cast you were seeing or if it was the actual fossil or the skeleton of the dinosaur you were seeing. So it was really informative, and I had to take the time to study. This was me just in awe of the different types of dinosaurs they were. I can't recall all of the names, but no one looked the same. Each one had a different skeletal formation. And if these things used to walk the face of the earth years ago, I don't know, that was me pointing to one of the bones. It's so huge. I don't know how these things worked and how probably humans didn't exist then, because they said it was before the Big Bang Theory. What do I know about science? If you know more about this, please make a comment, like drop a comment, because before I go blab what I don't know. But yeah, it was just fascinating to be in this museum. Keep watching. If you're a science enthusiast, you're going to love this museum because the backstory dates back to the beginning before the Big Bang, and they detailed all of the sequence and series of activities that the scientists felt led to this point. Inside this museum is a preparation lab as well, so there's still active search for dinosaur fossils as at today, modern day. And as more and more people pick interest in these things, they come over here and try to find these fossils. And whenever they find, you can see it on the screen there, they try to clean it up and study it more to understand the composition of whatever skeletal structure they found. And they're able to preserve this and display it for you to see. Honestly, I commend that, because if within like scientists or people weren't inclined to these things, you would just hear that animals like this once existed, but you would never have the chance to get to see it. So being here, being in the moment and seeing all these things for myself was surreal. Seeing all the skeletal structure of what was left of these animals, the cast, the real bone structure was just fascinating. And this museum is so beautiful and properly designed, because it's self-explanatory from the beginning. It just leads you in a winding path with clear instructions on how to go find your way around, and then you get to see each of the unique pieces that they've displayed. This is a dinosaur that had tusk, elephant tusk. This thing is already big enough to kill you, and it has a tusk to add to that. Anyway, ponder on that. But this is like a tunnel where you pass and head towards more and more stories of history and how they felt these things came about. And it's just so fascinating to see. Have you ever been here? Do you, like, if you live in Canada, Calgary to be precise, or Alberta, this is one place that you could go to. In case you're having the thought of if you have to purchase tickets before you get here, I don't know if you can. We just drove down here and got the tickets when we got here. But then I heard from one of the locals that it could get really busy in summer. So if you're looking forward to traveling here in summer, it may be advisable to look up online if you have to purchase the tickets before you get there, so that you don't just get there and be disappointed. It's typically open in the morning from like, I think 8 or 9, and then it closes by 5. And if you're inside before this time, you can explore. Another thing I found fascinating is this place you're seeing right now. This is a dinosaur bone, and you have to check. You can check to see your height. I was measuring around 5'8", thereabout. And this is a fascinating thing to say. Like, that is the bone. I didn't even get to the real height of the bone. I was just somewhere at the, is it femur they call it? Man, I don't know this bone. I used to know, but anyway. Yeah, and then I kept moving on to see more of the bones. This is a cast, and yeah, this is a cast that was found stuck in the sand, and they just form, like, they create the formation to look more real, so that you could read and see that these things once walked the face of the earth. And yeah, it's amazing to see. By the way, I haven't mentioned, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so. And I appreciate the fact that you're watching this video even up to this point. Yeah, before I forget, this part you're seeing is a track preservation. It is believed to be the foot of the dinosaurs, one of them, and they found it in the sand. So they just preserved that and brought it to the museum. You gotta give it to these guys, man. They know what they're doing. They do. And if you're yet to subscribe, please do so and keep watching. It's not over yet. Guys, did you know that some of these dinosaurs could fly and some of them lived underwater? The skeletal formation I saw showed that some of them could fly and then some others could swim underwater, and that is so mind-blowing to think about, because I can't, this thing is big. That's just the summary. So big. So, God forbid you're somewhere where this thing is chasing you. How do you stand a chance? How do you stand a chance against this, you know? So the yellow or neon patch you're seeing on the floor helps, like, it takes your measurement and tells you the equivalent in terms of animals. So if you step on that neon patch, it could tell you what you weigh, and different people were realizing what they weighed. I was in line and they said I weighed like a mountain goat. Whoa. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. So you could weigh yourself. It's just a fun activity to do here. And then on your way out of the museum is this place where you could get fridge magnets, souvenirs, shirts, just things to show that you visited Drumheller Dinosaur Museum. And yeah, they have a bunch of different things that you could pick from here. And the day is now over. I had fun. I was able to go around all parts of the museum and learn a thing or two and be fascinated by the skeletal structure of the remains of these dinosaurs. And we had to start making our way back to Calgary before it gets late. The road here was really smooth. Our drive was also good, and like I said, the weather was great. But if you're watching it this weekend, you're going to say, no, the weather is bipolar right now. I agree with you. Canada weather is unpredictable. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe and see you in the next one. Bye.